Hello everyone. Today I'm excited to share my project, an innovative coffee table racing game. Picture this, you and your colleagues are feeling overwhelmed by project deadlines and endless tasks. You decide to take a break, grab some coffee, and play a racing type coffee table game to unwind. After having fun, you return to work feeling refreshed and more productive. The game works by tilting your body and swinging a handheld ball to control a car speeding along the track on the coffee table. That is the essence of our creative idea. Imagine a space with cozy seating, a pool table, and a cooperative vibe among friends. What if we add a game where users control a car on the track with simple gesture, like wiggling their finger or gently move their bodies? How exciting would that be? This game would be powered by Arduino accelerometer sensor. Mainly because the course requires to use Arduino, player might interact in various ways, perhaps using finger movements to steer, blending physical and digital elements. This design would not only offer relaxation but also enhance cooperation. For me, this aligns perfectly with my vision of future work, designing tools that bring joys and foster efficient collaboration in space filled with creativity and technology. First, I was inspired by arcade machine in office break areas. In those spaces, you can see colleagues unwinding with arcade game after busy work days, and I wanted to bring that fun to coffee table. Second, motion gaming, such as Wheel and PlayStation, fascinated me when players control games using physical movement. This led me to consider using similar motion capture technology for my design. So I blended the entertainment of arcade game with the interaction of motion game to create unique racing experience that users can enjoy in the office. Next, let's look at some challenges we faced with the project. First, modifying the controller was tough due to complex high and low frequency adjustments, but this issue was eventually eventually resolved thanks to my talented teamwork team, uh, team members. Second, the car's battery problem was a major hurdle. All of the shell lithium batteries has mismatched voltages, making them incompatible. Even if adapted, they were too large, and the car lacked the power to move. Finally, we tried button batteries with similar voltages and smaller size, but we couldn't successfully connect them. And even if we had, the car's casing wouldn't close, which was frustrating. The car's motor was too fast, zooming through the maze and making the game hard. We tried slowing it down with Arduino code, but the motor can't be changed, so we decided to leave it as it is. The Arduino in the handheld ball was too fragile, falling when moved. Reinforcing it didn't help. As we switched it to two wearable backpacks, letting the players steer by tilting their bodies. This was more stable and immersive, teaching us to adapt when tech fails. There are always some issues with the controller still. Sometimes it fails for unknown reasons, but our skills are limited, and we are unable to identify the cause. The accessibility of the car is low because the chassis of the car is too low. We considered using a larger car, the big green monster car, but we didn't have enough time to change the car from the start. So let's look at our final result in the exhibit. We built an awesome maze for the game, and its cool decoration were ahead. I like these LEDs, attracting tons of people to our booth. The car ran smoothly on the maze track, which was big win, but Arduino components were too fragile to fit in the backpack. Sadly, they completely broke down at the end. To stay the demo, we switched the remote control green monster truck. It wasn't the plan, but it kept the show going. This project has room to grow. First, the Arduino parts was too fragile, so I used together tougher sensors for stability. Second, the backpack felt chunky, and we will make it smaller and comfier. Finally, the maze could be more fun with moving traps, variable tracks, or even a shooting car. It will be very cool. This would make the game more exciting and replayable. We misjudged how hard to modify the small car and waste our time on its poor design. A bigger car and maze would be smarter. Still, a stunning maze drew crows. The car worked, and we piloted to a monster truck when parts failed. I learned to tackle hardware issues and adapt fast. That is all. Thank you for watching.